these days I find that amongst people that are seeking a spiritual life and certain spiritual realizations, and who can therefore really define as seekers, quite a fascination with the concept of quantum mechanics, the quantum field, quantum energy, zero energy, and so forth. And it's very understandable why. You see, because we are feeling the call of this sense of oneness, where we all meet, where we all come from, and where we all go back to. And for people who are not really physicists or quantum cosmologists, is something not very clearly understood, but that sounds really nice. And so let me tell you something. I've been on the path of meditation for 52 years, without any exaggeration, and I was living for 7 years with yogis in India. I then went more into a medically oriented practice, when I was in the West. I had a meditation center in school, but I got really fed up of teaching spiritual things and meditation because of people's expectations. So, I left it. So anyhow, I, kept growing in my life. I did psychoanalysis a lot, studied myself, a lot of mindfulness. But at one point, about 10 years ago, when I was already sprouting white hair, this fascination came to me with quantum cosmology, because I heard certain things that really awakened a curiosity in my meditative mind. And it was this concept of a pure energy. So let me tell you a little bit about it, what I found fascinating, because I have to tell you something. After nearly 7 to 8 years of studies, many of them at an academic level, nothing had prepared me to the amazement, to the joy of what I really learned and discovered. And it fitted and it came in harmony so well with my meditation and my spiritual life, without going into some kind of airy-fairy, there is a kind of guy called consciousness out there that is pulling all the things and so forth. No, it's simpler than that. So, but anyhow, we can see the material world, isn't it? We can see the planets, we can see our bodies. But then, when we go into our bodies, we find smaller and smaller and smaller dimensions of it. Till at one point we reach the cell. Tiny, weeny, teeny, teeny, teeny. And we think, wow, that must be it. But then we learn how to break the cell, and we saw that there were many more things. There were proteins, amino acids, there was DNA, codons, you name it, so many things. And then you end up going even deeper than that structure, and lo and behold, you find atoms. And there you think, well, that is the final structure of life. But no, with time, scientists find out how to break the atom, and they discover that it was made of protons, neutrons, and electrons dancing together in the most beautiful Shiva way, with electromagnetic attraction, and the electrons are going, whoa, and the proton and neutrons are moving, and together they are moving as well. If you study science with a meditative mind, it can be so much fun. So then you think, well, this is it. This is the end of it. I mean, can it ever get smaller than that? And yes, it can. And you can even break those structures, those particles, and you come into the quarks and leptons. And then you think, wow, it keeps getting smaller. So maybe there is no end to it. But once we reach to this level, then what comes next in the study of life, of nature, is that what there is there are just vibrations. Wow. It's just, you know, waves of energy. And by themselves, they're not material, meaning they don't have a shape, they don't have weight. You see, you can't hold them. But what it is, the miracle of it, the beauty of it, is that when these various waves that can give rise to different forms of matter, they enter into a particular field, area called the Higgs boson, they then acquire materiality. But so in reality, what we are, and everything is, and everything will always be, is just that kind of wave of just pure energy. Now, I like what some scientists have said. So when we reach this quantum field, this final quantum field of different waves giving rise to different forms of matter, the mystery is not over. The mystery is not over. These waves, when they come all together and you have different forms and forces, all these forces, everything that exists as a wave, as matter in this universe and in the multiverse, when you bring it all together and you bring minus and pluses, it becomes what? Zero. You see, it goes into pure quiescence. So some scientists, they say the part where these quantum waves vibrate and move, they call it like the vector field. But the one where everything even deeper is in pure stasis, in, well, to us we can say of pure calmness, that is the scalar field. So for a meditator, then you go, wow, so this is the thing, you go through one thing to another, and you reach to that state where is no dash thing. I don't say nothing, I say no thing, because it's non-material. Yet the immense beauty of it is that no thing contains everything. I know it's a bit of a paradox, but so is life. So is the essence of life, a paradox. That which is nothing is also everything. So that translates a little bit in the spiritual path, that you go through different levels. You awaken to awareness, you awaken to pure love. I've discussed that in many of my videos. And then, if you don't allow your kind of ego or I to latch into those, and still form the mind of the enlightened person, you know, I am so and so, and I am enlightened. But you go even a little bit further to where there is not that I grasping anything. So then you are ready to get that perception, and you can perceive it in your normal life. You don't need to have reached that many levels or so for that complete letting go, that when you even fall asleep and you experience total peace and relaxation, you have everything, you're going into nothingness. Yes, you have everything you ever wanted, and it's beautiful, you see. So that is the beauty of the quantum field. Now, we have to be careful, because some people then they start saying, oh, this quantum field is pure consciousness, so everything is consciousness. Yes, everything is quantum, no doubt about it, in infinite manifestations. And we are all a manifestation of it. So we are all brothers and sisters. not amongst us human, but with everything in creation. But we have to be a little bit careful to do things that put the back of certain scientists, and sometimes with a good reason, because we start making this consciousness as again a divinity with a personality and with anger and with vengeance and with punishment and all that kind of stuff. A little bit that sense that we can call of consciousness is feeling in that silence the fulfillment of all what exists. You know, it comes into quiescence. So you find in that silence a peace which has got everything. And there is not even an I saying, I've reached the nothingness. You see, you just come out of it as a child. And you don't think much has happened. True. I just got it. Nothing has happened. So that's why sometimes when I'm talking to some atheists, and they become a bit afraid, you know, of this thing of the discourse becoming a little bit mystical, you know, and this kind of consciousness talk, I always just present to them the harmony of all things, the balance of all things, the symmetries, you see, how everything comes to rest, balancing itself, and being aware of that is somewhat closer to what I mean when I say it is consciousness. You know, okay, it's not a separate consciousness that has got a personality like us human beings. You know, that goes, brrr, don't you do that, brrr, don't you do that, and so forth. And we have to go, oh, please, please, help me. You know, don't hurt me. You don't want to go all that way to end up like this. So, but as I said, is this kind of total rest. And in this kind of awareness, you then understand certain things which have got also a certain spiritual essence to it. Like if we are all one, if we all come from the same, and we also totally different, we are all unique, but because of the essence that we share, you know, and because we are brothers and sisters, you suddenly realize the eternal law. And first of all, the eternal law is whatever you do unto others, you are doing unto yourself. Okay? This is something I'm sure many other people have said it, but it just came from within me, you know, some time ago. Whatever you do unto others, you are doing unto yourself. You know, you will have to experience it within yourself. And then that expands into what we know very well. Don't do unto others what you wouldn't like others to do unto you, but you wouldn't like them to do that. And do unto others what you would like others to do to you. You see? So, and whatever comes out of harmony, you know, whatever comes out of that zero balance where everything comes into quiescence, whatever breaks that symmetry will need some other kind of movement to bring that symmetry back. Wow. So, because you have to go back into balance all the time. You can do anything you want. You can explode, you can create all the things. But if you break the eternal law, it's just a natural movement. You know, it's nobody going ba 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 to you, but it's just a natural movement that you have to bring it back into balance and into harmony. So that's why I'm very open to the idea of that there is some truth in the concept and idea of karma, but is not as a punishment, but as a teaching, you know, how to live within that symmetry within that beauty, within that silence, and how you can be amazing, how you can be unique. Because within that silence, some people misunderstand that, oh, I disappear, you disappear. No, you don't. You know, you become no thing, but at the same time, you are unique, you are beautiful. You know, Carlo, I love you. You see, Carlito, my parents call me. You know, I love being that child. Uh, I don't need to be a Buddha or, you know, some kind of zero thing, because there is multiplicity in oneness and there is oneness in multiplicity. And by oneness is also that no thing is oneness. So this reality is all there is. And we are all part of it. We are a drop in an ocean. So how far is the drop different from the ocean and so forth? That is something we will all have to discover. But so if this essence is within us, if this reality is within us, if whatever makes the cosmos is within us, the very particles, the very quarks that make our atoms and our cells, they have been transforming themselves from the very origins, from the very Big Bang. So that memory is still in our cells. That's why I have a strong sense that many meditators, many yogis, or even, for example, the Gnostics here in the West, or the Sufis, had this very strong sense of their source, of their origin. And through meditation or prayer or calmness, whatever path you take, if you can go back to that, there is a sense of great peace, of a certain love, of a certain release, because we feel that which always has been and which is right now. So I think, and I have a sense, that this kind of consciousness, you know, this kind of awareness is starting very strongly to manifest amongst us, particularly because this is a time of great need. Just look where the planet is going. We are in the coronavirus epoch, you know, and there are so many things going on that you really think and feel that there is a need of a message of unity. But it is a message where I think we are all its prophets. We are all the ones who can share it, but first and foremost by allowing it to flourish in our heart, so that one day people, is not that they're going to be convinced by you, the preacher, but when people are going to say, hey, I quite like what you got, what is it? You see, so then it's easy to communicate it. And I think as well, for this awareness to really take place, it is very important that we go beyond the old path. The path of, oh, it is this prophet. Oh, no, it is that prophet. No, it is my prophet. And then we start fighting, creating new wars, new condemnation. You know, oh, you're going to go to hell because you don't follow my doctrine. That is the hatred and the separation which has caused so much misery, along with the greed. Mine, give me more. You know, of course we need enough, but we don't need, you know, to possess the universe in order to feel secure. So I think that the way that this kind of awareness, you know, will start more and more to manifest with a sense of love and peace and coming together, and non-judgmental and not condemnation. Who is not against me is with me. So so we need a lot of tolerance of how different people find the way to it. So we have seen about this great interest towards understanding a little bit about the quantum field and a bit this universal essence of all things. We have had a little bit of a look of what is its finality, which is that sense of no thing, but which has got everything in it, because everything goes into balance and become zero or quasi zero, almost zero, and then within it everything can take place. And it's a beautiful thing to realize from within how just your silence, your quietness can give rise to this gentle, kind sense of peace, and conciliation. So it's something worth looking for, something worth pursuing. We'll be talking a lot more about this because there is so much more to say, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what this quantum world is and why so many people are feeling so attracted to it, and why it has a certain connection to the deeper school of spirituality through the ages, and how even a sense of balance, a sense of new morality can come, a new morality which is not born out of fear, but a new morality which is coming out of love, from this sense of unity, and how if I hurt others, I'm hurting myself, and if I'm hurting myself, I'm hurting others, because if I hate myself, I'll be hating others as well, you see. So this connection is very important, and then we can start changing, because not that I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that or I'll be punished. Yes, we need that at a certain level, but then it comes more that I can live a more tranquil, a more giving life with a certain self-protection and assertion that we need in order to survive by all means. But once that is not needed, so we share that lovingness and peace within us, because that's what truly makes us happy, because it really brings us back to our true nature, to our origins, to the Great Mother. And I think that within this new awareness, while the old paths, very much, so many of them, had this attitude of hating nature, of hating the world. This world is all negative, is all horrible, it just holds you down. And so you have to totally destroy it within you and just go to something very abstract. Yes, this world can hold you down when you look at it in a very selfish and pure survivalist mode. But if you begin to understand its origins and the beauty, absolute beauty with which it unfolds and manifests, that is a great joy, because we know what it is, we know where it's coming from, and we can appreciate these waves where it explodes and then it comes together again, and it's, the Shiva dance. So there is a new attitude of actually of love and wanting to understand matter and wanting to understand nature and appreciate all that is within it. It's the beauty, the arts, the music, the free thinking, the free speech, the coming together, the acceptance of our differences. So that is also a very important part of it. So I think understanding the symbolism, at least the symbolism of what the quantum field is and its reflection of our deeper nature is something that can bring a certain level of tranquility within us, but also a certain sense of coming together with the rest of the world. So, as I said, we are going to go a lot more into this, and I have already also made many videos about it. Have a look at some of my playlists, and I hope you have enjoyed it. I mean, if you're still hearing me, it means you've come a long way because you've watched all the video. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again. Peace.